Oh! So long, Bowser. Thank you so much for playing my game.
Right now it starts. Why, bro? Why don't we do Nwpo versus Moxy directly? We're saving that. Chat, we're saving that. What up? How is everybody doing today? Are you guys ready for more Rocket League 1v1? I couldn't help but notice a severe lack of this guy goes live this time around. I see that we are now fully used to it again. Mr. Go Live hits the go live button all the time. Never not hitting it. You're just here for the marbles? Earlier this morning, I was upgrading the marbles. The marbles overlay. That is just the marbles overlay. I wasn't upgrading the actual marbles. The actual marbles is still exactly how they always were. But the marbles overlay is just a little bit more dynamic. Habibi! They were the 4 months tier 1.
C_1439.
So true. So true. I ain't playing marbles no more. Now that you know it only costs you a cool 7 in order to get out of it, dude. I don't know. Why not? Chat, it's the road to Nwpo versus Moxy, and it continues today. It continues today. HG Go-Go, they have the 16 months tier 1. It is not time to sleep. It is time to continue the Nwpo versus Moxy, or road to Nwpo versus Moxy, $1,000 challenge. We got Tempoh coming in as the 7th person to play against these guys. Like I said before, there's a chance we do some rematches here at the end to spice it up against players they both lost to. Maybe we'll get unique players all the way. We will have to wait and see. You were also going to sleep? What time are you guys going to sleep? Why is everyone going to sleep so early? It really doesn't feel like you need to be going to sleep that early. But I tell you what, guys, we aren't going to be waiting very long to get into it. I think these guys are ready to go. Oh, Moxy said 2 minutes he's in a game. I don't know if he's in a ones game to warm up or what. We could maybe, just maybe, have 2 matches today. Let me make a tweet real quick. If more people respond to me who have, you know, implied, or I shouldn't say implied, have said they have interest, and I can actually lock them down for a moment in time, they could play later today. They could. No guarantees. Because if they don't, they don't. And that's life. Denmark. There it is. Okay, tweet is out. You're gonna abstain on purchasing Marbles Drip for now? Wait, Fatal Shot, download the Marbles on Stream app. There's Marbles drops on today to tomorrow for watching a Marble stream. You can use the app to buy stuff or use points. We're a Rocket League stream, and there's Rocket League drops on right now. Rocket League drops are on right now as well. I think everything on my end is ready to game. Let's see. You guys ready? I can't tell if Moxy's still in game or not. Let me go check, actually. Yes, 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 they are ready. Yes, they are ready. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Best of 5, by the way, in case Tempoh didn't know. Let's do it. Chat, here we go. It's Moxy versus Tempoh in a continuation of a 20 show match series we've been doing. 10 matches, 10 different opponents, that is, for Nwpo and Moxy to play against as they prep for the World Championships. If this is the first one you're tuning into, Nwpo and Moxy will be playing for the first ever RLCS 1v1 World Champion title. And we wanted to make sure that they stay as fresh as possible. Today's opponent is Tempoh, not in a Dominus. He is not in a Dominus. This is going to be a slight surprise to those of you who have watched a lot of Tempoh games. He is seemingly cold turkey, just given up on the Dominus completely. And his backwards hat. And he's into a standard Fennec, just like everybody else now. And we'll see if that will help him at all in this match against Moxy, who's going to score first with a nice fake. Moxy leads the series, if you haven't been paying attention to the series so far. This is our 7th opponents for the duo of Nwpo and Moxy. And Moxy is a series ahead. His game differential is slightly lacking in the sense that if he were to lose and they were ending up, being tied. Let's say Moxy loses to Tempoh and Nwpo does not. I think the lead would switch over to Nwpo's hand. His game differential has been a bit better throughout his games that he has won. So we will see if Moxy ever has a slip up. Oh my goodness, or if he's going to be able to just walk it out to the end of these 10 matches, get the $1,000 prize for himself by not slipping up. Tempoh trying to go top shelf. As he said, he hadn't been grinding too much ones recently, but that is not necessarily directly correlated to great performances. Sometimes, taking a break from ones, getting your head out of the space a little bit, as long as you're still playing the game, staying in top shape, which it sounds like Tempoh has, a nice return could be, the perfect moment to steal a win against a guy like Moxy, but for now it's going to be 2-0 for him. We came into this knowing that it was going to be tough for any opponent to try and take either one of these guys down. There's a reason why, ultimately, they're playing for the World Championship. It just so turned out that some of the early contenders gave them a run for their money in a way that hasn't happened in the past couple times around. Tempoh going to get a kickoff goal to get on the board. Oh, you're right. There is no prediction. I'll start a prediction right now. This one got going really quickly. And you're just going to have to understand that with 2 minutes left on this prediction and 3 minutes left in this game, read what's going on and bet accordingly. I almost got this goal explosion from the shop. I'll let it play because I mentioned it. I think this one was in the shop recently, like the gilded butterflies. Looks good, but I didn't get it. Anyways, do you like that cool story? Moxy gonna bump Tempoh to the side wall and retake his lead. This is the classic Moxy play. The wave dash kickoff into bump. If you are anywhere in the stratosphere of where he can get you, he's going to try to. Nice zap dash recovery from Moxy. He's going to save intentionally off of his own post in order to start his counterattack quickly. Still, it's going to be a Tempoh shot attempt. He's going to try and make something out of this. It might be hard to do while still holding on to the ball, but he's maybe just managed to do so as he gets a demo and now sets up in his own back corner. Moxy forcibly rotated back. That is not the kind of reset shot that he's going to need. I don't think this curve dash is going to be enough. Moxy should just, by all means, have his 4th goal. The offense going to have a bit more teeth from Tempoh if he's going to want to be able to score on those air dribbles. Moxy, just chipping it around Tempoh and giving himself a bit of separation. Tempoh did a good job keeping the scoring down for the first couple minutes. In those moments, though, I'm sure he felt less urgency to try and find offense of his own. We are definitely starting to creep into territory where Tempoh knows he's going to have to be taking risks here and there if he wants to bring back this 3-goal deficit. Air dribble bump attempt. Moxy somehow denies it. And Tempoh is trying to decide what he's going to do here. He didn't even get his own corner boost. Moxy able to flip over the top of him and steal it away. And is Moxy starting some time wasting, or is he just going to go for some crazy ceiling shot? He had to quickly backflip out of his reverse reset on the ceiling, but he still managed to hold on to the ball. Now he's doing some time wasting. We watch it from Tempoh's POV. He is just going to cut back and forth across the field until Tempoh forces the issue, and he's going to get a nice musty to make it 6-2. 1:13 left to go. Tempoh had a strong first couple minutes, but it's going the way of many of other Moxy victims. Tempoh dashing past the ball. Is he going to be able to recover? No, he was thinking about a boost steal. Moxy says, feel free to go take that. If you're going to leave the ball right here available, just going to shoot it on the net. So I believe we were tied 2-2. And since then, a 5-0 run for Moxy to close out game number 1, all but securing it. Tempoh sticking it out here as he looks for ways to break through Moxy's defense, and he is just going to tap the ball right into a dunking Moxy to make it 8-2. Favorable wave dash kickoff for Moxy, make it 9-2. Every single game important in these matches. Game differential could end up breaking the tie between Nwpo and Moxy. And as I mentioned many times before during the series, I was expecting maybe both of them to drop one, maybe 2 games. Two series, I should say. And having that goal or that game differential being the big decider between these 2 World Championship favorites. And oh my goodness, Moxy trying to freestyle, doesn't hit it. So far, that still could end up being the case, but not in the sense that I thought previously. Game differential still could end up mattering, but at a bit of a lower record than expected. But game number 1 going smooth here for Moxy. 9-2. Flick over the top of Tempoh, and a stylish double to the ground as he secures the early lead. Tempoh drops a lol. Maybe not stoked about his game number 1. I don't know what that was about. Moxy is live again? Good times, dude. Moxy hasn't even been streaming lately. He's really switched it up. From live every single second, constantly playing Rocket League, to then sometimes even playing matches without going live. Game number 2, Moxy and Tempoh. Or actually, he is Tempoh right now. I didn't even notice. Has he been Tempoh the whole time? Tempoh is maybe the version of him without a Dominus and a backwards hat. Wave dash shot from Moxy. Such a great play to cut that ball back the other way. Moxy into his own back corner. He's really liking this reverse reset on the ceiling into Musty. Tempoh, fairly greedy double, not able to hit it. And Moxy just sits around and waits and says, I don't think you got that. And he was right. It might be the kind of shots that Tempoh needs to hit if he wants to beat Moxy. But he cannot be giving away too many freebies either. Moxy pinching this one off the sidewall. We're watching it from Tempoh POV as he tries to defend against this one's monster. He has still kept it reasonable. The problem is, if you connect it with the previous game, it's about 7-0. 7-0 run, I think, for Tempoh, if not a little bit more. Or for Moxy against Tempoh. Tempoh gonna get a boost steal. And now needs to try and find a way to score this. Didn't put that high enough on the wall to prevent Moxy from being able to get there even on 0 boost. Moxy gonna turn and dive. Tempoh has not been able to control this ball and create scoring opportunities quick enough. Moxy has closed the distance and punished with some clean takeaways. Moxy reset near the ceiling, wants the ground pinch, did get it around Tempoh, but the ball not going to get down low enough to be shootable, so instead he goes to steal the corner 100. Make sure Tempoh stays low. Can Tempoh make something happen? This flick is decent. Moxy does fall inside the net, but recovers so quickly. And now chaining some dashes down to beat Tempoh to this ball. Throw one on target. Tempoh has the easy save. 3-0. Tempoh's offense still lacking the bites necessary. Ooh, he did chip it around Moxy. First real mistake from him. He is human after all. This can do a lot for the confidence when every single early challenge from Tempoh has been working. Dr. Pepper RL, thank you for the 10 months. Appreciate you. Tempoh needs to be careful of a demo attempt. Moxy certainly loves to punish after. Oh my goodness, Moxy. That is not a save off of his own post, which I have to assume he was trying to do in order to set up a counterattack, and instead it is a shot directly into his own nets. Moxy reset wave dash pinch saved away. Tempoh on an air triple bump. Moxy was able to dodge the last one. This one much more careful. Slowly takes it, keeps himself and the ball as tightly coupled as possible, making it really tough for Moxy to try and find a way around. And the bump secures a tie game. Problem is, the last time it felt like the game was in the balance, Moxy seemed to turn it on and get 5 straight and completely remove it from balance as a hook shot is going to go top right after a demo. 4-3 for Moxy. Tempoh was clearly trying to catch a bit of the ball with that side flip so he could start setting something up on the other side of the field. He really loves his zap dashes. He's been using the landing, like the sideways landing pop, to get them, as opposed to just the 2 front wheels popping up like we can see from the guy who coined it. Moxy is so tough to stop in these positions, and it's not going to happen this time either. Tempoh trying to get up early to respect the flicks that Moxy's able to do, which means he could have even struggled against the fake. Maybe thought about that for a second when he pulled off boost, but Moxy ends up sending it over the top. 5-3. Tempoh chaining some dashes to chase Moxy down. Going for a greedy 51 that we maybe wouldn't see from him in a different game context, but down to approaching the final minute, especially considering the way Moxy would time waste in this position earlier. Maybe feels like he has to take some risks. Moxy probably securing this game win as he rolls this one into the corner. Does go up into the air despite no real direct pressure from Tempoh, who is now attempting to get something going. Reset shot will not be stopped. 6-4. Needs a couple strong kickoffs, and he can entertain stealing a game, which could be a big deal for Moxy. This kickoff, not the best, not the worst for Tempoh. as he's forced to try and carry Moxy's clear and turn it into something. Only 16 boosts left over, and all that's going to have to be used not to try and score, but instead to try and prevent the counterattack, which I guess he in theory has done, but I think Moxy had a chance to shoot an open nets and just missed it slightly. Late recovery, high speeds, results in a double jump save. Tempoh has boosted, but he just got himself lost on the back corner wall. This 50 is strong and definitely favors someone who has 50 boost as opposed to 0, but could not get anything out of the resets. And it will end 6-4 or maybe 7-4 if Moxy scores one the other way. Oh, tried the pre-flip shot. Wasn't there. 2 games for Moxy. 1 away from securing his best result here in this match against Tempoh in theory, but also Nwpo. Game number 3. Moxy trying to finish out the sweep. Tempoh in a different car, a better one, I might add. I like the look of this one as Moxy's going to go air dribble bump to open it up. Tempoh swinging back into his corner off of a kickoff loss, and Moxy's going to make sure he gets nothing out of it. Moxy, low 50. Tempoh cannot get the save. (2-0) is not how I would imagine Tempoh brings this one back. I would have thought you would need to start off looking absolutely on fire. That being said, he's not going to let the deficit get too strong. Able to take away Moxy's half-hearted dribble. A long shot puts him on the board. Moxy, another first possession off kickoff. One of the big things that separates him from a lot of the other top 1v winners. Such a great ability to get first possession. And if you do that enough times, you get Moxy to own goal. Oh my goodness, Moxy gets the save. Somehow he put himself in the perfect position to chip that not into his own net off the post. Everything is going Moxy's way, and this is not what Tempoh needs. He's got a great reset. I love this air dribble a lot more than the previous ones I've seen from him. But even then, still not able to get much out of it. He tried to maintain possession, but dies in the process. What was that, a reverse half flip from Moxy to set him back up in nets? Now, into an air dribble. Tempoh cannot stop the resets. Moxy makes it 3-1. Moxy trying to get a kickoff goal. Tempoh got greedy, and Moxy actually expected that. Moxy stuck around, expecting the save off of the post and attempting for the counterattack, but he wasn't able to punish. And now Tempoh the other way gets a second goal on the board. Moxy trying to go to ceiling height. We saw Moxy doing a great job of taking out Stizzy's aerial game with that early ceiling challenge. Tempoh save off his crossbar. Moxy slows down, double jumps, 50s, and walks it in at 1 mile an hour. Showing the level of control he has, and also showing how little Tempoh wants to get caught out diving on the ball, considering how much he's been destroyed by that so far. Huge dunk. What was Moxy doing on this kickoff? Had to be something different, right? No jump, I believe. Oh yeah, he might have been attempting the intentional loss to his back corner, which we've seen from a few players here and there. So far, I'd say it's been, you know, it needs to get labbed a little bit more in ranked or something, because it seems like it's almost getting labbed in big matches, and therefore its success rate is actually not that good. Certainly not something I would suggest player is doing, but maybe they just need to lab it a bit more before bringing it to the big time. Tempoh into the skies. Normally a very tough to defend against aerial player. Moxy's had saves so far, though. This one's going to roll on target, easily kept out. Moxy maintains his lead. And oh my goodness, and this is how he opened up the series. And it's so hard not to respect his setups here. He does such a good job of controlling the ball, and the way he played earlier. How can you not expect something out of those flicks? But instead, nothing at all. And it's 5-3. Ooh, somehow catching a demo as he flips to the corner. Moxy is in the zone. Zap dash recovery into pre-flip to get to that boost first and take Tempoh off the map. Moxy, single jump shot, saving his flip for a wave dash as Tempoh stares down at him. 2 minutes on the clock. Has spent the entirety of the match playing from behind. Moxy seems to be trying something brand new here and there every once in a while to see what he can't hit. And that has allowed a Tempoh goal here or there. Could it end up biting him if Tempoh's able to get a bit of momentum going? Hard to say. Tempoh kickoff in his favor. Moxy has the boost advantage, though. Should be able to get back and clear this one easily. The question is, will Tempoh be able to get anything else out of this possession? Because this should favor him heavily as he chain dashes up the back wall, trying to get a shot. Hits the post and out. Moxy still very low, and there is a conversion. Tempoh gets a fifth. Problem right now with Tempoh's game is every time we head to a kickoff, it already feels like we're giving Moxy possession. Tempoh needs to get more first possessions and find a way to keep him on his back foot all the way from kickoff, and maybe this is one way to do it. Moxy actually did lose this slightly into his half and felt he had to try and rush back and recover it, and wasn't as clean. You see that single jump probably because he's expecting to be demoed, or could be demoed. That put him out of the play, but another first possession for Moxy. He's just too good at converting on these. Tempoh, this time the dive challenge works well, and he's going to try and put it on target, just barely missed. Importantly, able to maintain control. Be worried about a demo in that position. He's going to back off here. Moxy will chip it. And now Tempoh, can he land and gain control? Moxy trying to get a hit on the ball, but probably expecting a good chance of getting a demo too by staying grounded and just looking for the landing spot. Tempoh going to survive this one. Moxy, you can see him pulling off of his demo attempt as he decided it was no longer worth it. Both these guys really low on boost, and Tempoh's actually going to be the first into the corner for a chance to tie the game here. An air dribble, resets early directly into Moxy. He had the read, and that probably wins him the series. The ability to defend against all of Tempoh's aerial game. And I would say some of the aerial game early on was lacking a bit of flair, lacking what it would need to score. That one was a great setup. That was just a really good play from Tempoh, just even better defense from Moxy, and this is the only world in which he potentially loses. as if he just lets something like this go in. Delay kickoff, maybe attempting to chip it over the top or something. But it's not going to work. And surely he doesn't go for it back to back. Yeah, he kind of did, actually. Another no-jump kickoff. Somehow managed to keep it at the midfield and get the boost? How did he get boost out of that? The boost advantage means this is all but over. I can't imagine Tempoh finding a way to keep this one up with 0, although Moxy is going to try and keep it up. There's a GG's, as Moxy maybe wants one more. Pre-GG's? Have we ever seen a GG's called and then the game doesn't actually end and then it goes to OT? No. It is GG's. Moxy gets 3 straight. Tempoh got better as time went on, but couldn't take Moxy down in the game. So, Let's take a quick trip to the leaderboard and type in MAWKZY's results. Strong performance. Tempoh, if he can get any games at all, can close a little bit of distance or maybe create even more separation because MAWKZY's a series ahead, but this is where we stand. I guess we could stay right here. Let me just tab out of the game so we don't hear the crowd noise. All right, I bet you Nwpo's ready to go. Let me see. He's in game. Let me send a couple more messages to the people who may have been playing later today. But otherwise, we'll pull in Nwpo. Why are we MAWKZY? Atto gonna be in this? Feels like Carmine Trinity should be complete. I don't think so. I've talked to Atto. Probably not. Get Diaz? So I talked to Diaz, and he said he gets ridiculous EU ping. So back in the day when he was in Brazil, you and I both seem to be remembering that he could get like somewhat playable ping. But I haven't seen it. Oh, okay. All right, we might have one more after this. Let me make sure before MAWKZY runs anywhere. Chat, is MAWKZY still live? I'm subscribing to MAWKZY right now. Okay, he's still live. Let me message him. All right, I told him to check. I'm sure his chat will help. We should have another match after this one. We probably have like 1 minute of ad and then we should be good. Is Cuxer available? I'm not sure. I've never actually connected with Cuxer. He was pre my commentary era. All right. Nwpo Tempoh starts right now. I don't know. Yeah, they're here. Here we go. Nwpo versus Tempoh. The road to Nwpo versus Moxy continues. It's been a long road. This is the 7th opponent that both Nwpo and Moxy have played against. They're playing for $1,000 in an attempt to get a better record against the same 10 opponents as the other does. Now, you might be wondering, why aren't they just playing each other? Well, we're saving that. We're saving that for the World Championships that are happening in September on land in France in front of the French fans. The home team, or the home crowd for the home team in Mr. Moxy. Going to be very intense. We want to keep their skills as sharp as possible, and that is why we have come up with this format for these guys to play against each other. Nwpo is playing against Tempoh after he just played Moxy, so you should see that either in the previous parts of this stream, or if you are watching on the YouTube, probably released the day before. Feel free to check that one out, because we are going to talk about the results there, because Moxy was able to get a sweep. Their last couple opponents, Stizzy and now Tempoh, it seems like they have been able to handle business and get sweeps. Something that we were expecting to see probably a lot of out of these two. So getting into form right around the right time, as Tempoh cannot quite save this one and ends up doubling it off his own post to make it 2-1. You should start doing interviews with the players and let them talk about which one played the best. That feels like it'll be obvious based on how many games they're able to win, right? Or how many goals are scored. I do love listening to players' opinions, though. I felt like EWC did a really good job about that. They did a lot of talking to players, a lot of talking to coaches. Nice interception here from Nwpo to make it 3-1. Okay, yeah, I think Release Rope 6 did say you should interview the players to let me talk about which one played the best, presumably Release Rope. So I don't know if he just wants to have the interviews so he can talk about who did the best in the interview and or games, but I assumed that was a slip up. After Tempoh scores first, Nwpo scores 4 straights. Just barely over a minute in. He is certainly the kind of player, maybe more than any other, that can snowball and make a series look really out of hand. He loves to play so fast and can just pepper goals on your net over and over and over again. 5-1 with 1:30. On the line for Tempoh is a $100 prize if he's able to get a series win against Nwpo. Nwpo ultimately competing for the $1,000 across all 10 matches against Moxy. Tempoh has a chance in the air. Nwpo knew it and he tried to pre-jump it. Tempoh wisely did not follow the ball after the first touch. He just said, you know, if you think you're this good at pre-jumping, I'm just going to let you try. If you hit it, sure. I can still probably rotate back and make a play off of your strong touch. And if you don't hit it, then it's going to be really, really easy for me to follow this one up on the ground instead of having to try and do it through the air. As Tempoh now going to relinquish control of this ball. Pass it over to Nwpo, who's not the kind of guy you want to have to play against when he has the air dribbles. Nwpo flick top shelf, doesn't connect, and Tempoh making sure to flip through as the bump lands on his nose in order to make sure that he does not go flying out of position and stays generally where he can make a play. He's going to get a demo and set up whatever he wants on this other side of the field. It's going to be a sidewall air dribble reset around ceiling heights, falling down. A second reset for fun? Or did he not get the first one? I mean, I'm not the best in the world at reading the resets, but it really felt like he got the first one. Why not get another one, though? If only you could stack them up. Tempoh's shot puts him within one. Tempoh looking for a high flick. Ooh, this pinch might go straight in. 5-5. Nwpo trying to control it. You could see that late bit of boosting to make sure he did not land inside the net, and ultimately I think fell a little bit too in love with the wall dashes, trying to dash on each curve. Got him a little bit lost and unprepared to make the right 50. Tempoh 6-5 forces this 50 off the sidewall and puts a kickoff on target. This is a late game lead for Tempoh, something he did not see at all against Moxy. Credit to him. We've actually seen so far in this tournament, I was expecting anyone. Ooh, nice pinch by Nwpo across the whole field. Even Tempoh has to drop with a nice one. Tempoh looking like he was maybe going to try and swing around this ball, set something up. No, Nwpo just launches a pinch across the whole field. Makes it 6-6. Nwpo soft touch to himself and then chips it right out the top. Now soft touch to himself. He is the only one on the field, but I mean, he didn't go for the backboard. He didn't go for anything else except for a setup right to himself on the ground where you can chain it with a quick jump to get over the top of Tempoh. Now, tough angle to try and score with. Nwpo's instead going to play keep away, and he's going to play keep away again on this second double. Just does not want Tempoh to get a touch, and eventually gets to shoot on his own nets, or his open net, I should say. Tempoh thought after the first flick he was going to have a chance to intercept. Nwpo kickoff goal, going to make it 9-6. Since the tie game, he's been able, actually I think even Tempoh might even had a lead at 6-5. So it might be 4 straight for Nwpo. Tempoh needs a lot of offense here in the final minutes. It's going to take some kickoff goals as well, and it'll start, though, with a nice double off the backboard. Nwpo creeping out of net with 36 boost. Gets all the way to 48 and is actually defending shadowed, staring directly at his back wall. Maybe because he felt like he was going to have a better read or a better chance at making a play, but Tempoh gets around him. And this is the kind of kickoff that Tempoh can't afford. I think he needs pretty much direct wins towards Nwpo's net, where he starves him out and keeps him low, and then eventually converts. Those usually take about 15 or so seconds. He'd be able to get a couple of them to tie it up. Instead, Nwpo's been able to get boost immediately, and it's probably just going to result in enough midfield play that this game is over. Nwpo trying to take it back into his own corner. And I'm not sure if he wanted to go with the soft touch or not, so that this was available, the hook shot to punish Tempoh if he dove in, or if he meant to just actually go all the way back to the corner. But that ended up being the perfect position where he could easily read if Tempoh is going to dive, he can punish him. And if he's not, you can just let it roll out. 10-7. A much better game number 1 from Tempoh than I think we saw from him against Moxy, as Nwpo tries to go for some power slide freestyling on the ground. Wait just 1 second. Wait just 1 second. Or maybe 3. Delay? No, actually a huge win, but that takes too long. Yeah, it's probably never gonna happen. Game 1 goes to Nwpo. We'll head to game 2. I am not invited to Worlds. No. Game number 2. Nwpo and Tempoh. Nwpo, oh, the delayed flick. Maybe that shot would have been out. Tempoh actually does force it in. But certainly one Tempoh should not beat himself up too much about. He's got to try and contest these. Otherwise, he's going to be in big trouble. Does result in a first goal within 7 seconds. So much about those first possessions. Zapdash recovery from Tempoh. Nwpo still able to get back and stop the quick shot. Tempoh gonna pass to himself. Oh my goodness, look at this shot. It's impressive, it's fast, but it's actually maybe even slightly readable how fast he played it. Nwpo able to make that save. I still think it's probably huge credit to Nwpo's defense that he's able to recognize what Tempoh was up to and get to that side of the net quickly. Nwpo chaining some dashes actually makes him threatening on the back wall for a demo, keeping himself supersonic. Tempoh has to worry about that. Nwpo, man, this is his classic gameplay. He just does not want to give up on the ball ever. Even when it seems like he left for a moment, he just turns right back onto it. And you can see Tempoh, you know, the wheels turning, kind of like, just wait a little bit longer. Just a couple more seconds and I'll finally get the space I need. I just keep holding on to possession and Nwpo will eventually back off. Well, he finally has it. And oh no, you can't do that. You have to be able to convert when you do get that space. Tempoh gets a nothing burger flick and allows Nwpo the other way to make it 2-0. Nwpo is so annoying to play against, you'd know from experience. Type 1 in chat if you know from experience that Nwpo is very annoying to play against when you were playing him in ranked ones. Tempoh, ooh, just the perfect soft touch to get it over the top. You can see Nwpo on 0 boost, looking to either go off the side wall or off the top of the nets. Tempoh, perfect pace. Nwpo boxing Tempoh out here on the recovery. I'm not sure how much it ended up mattering. If I watch from his POV, he's trying to stick around on 0 boosts. Yeah, probably relevance. Oh, nice read of the fake kickoff from Tempoh. Should just be a freebie. Do you rotate who plays the challengers first? Yeah, we had been doing that. I've been trying to go back and forth. The funny thing is, I was worried about like having to play someone second would be easier after they just got, you know, maybe trounced in the first one and their spirits were down. I thought, oh no, second game, they're gonna want to just phone it in or whatever. That actually hasn't been the case. In practice, players have played better in their second games after losing in the first. But either way, yeah, I've done my best. In general, oh my goodness. Nice catch and double jump from Tempoh. They've been 10 gifted, Sweaty. Much appreciated. I'll either have Nwpo go first sometimes because it's later in his time zone, or if either one of them say they want to go first and seem to care about going first, then I'll just let them. It's kind of how I've been doing it. So today MAWKZY mentioned he wanted to be going first and seemed to care about it more than Nwpo did, so MAWKZY just went first today. Tempoh almost able to score and tie it up. Nwpo, his flick forces Tempoh onto the back wall. And he is keeping ball cam on this dribble to be able to see around it. And now ends up throwing that flick that just isn't going to cut it in a match against guys like this. And now he's a little bit frustrated. He didn't pick up that corner boost. You can see no movement from him as Nwpo walks it in the other way. Delayed kickoff. And now Nwpo looking for the kind of double that we saw Tempoh going for earlier. One that he wasn't able to hit. Nwpo doesn't hit it either. Tempoh missed his shorts. Nwpo's going to miss his long. Tempoh, nice movement on this one. He is keeping himself within striking distance here against Nwpo all the way to the end of the game. That's what he was able to do in game number 1 at least. The only reason I pointed out now is because it's really not the case in his matchup against Moxy just a moment ago. Flick top shelf. Pinched with the crossbar perfectly from Nwpo. This time soft touch, as he probably hoped to be able to stick around it and make a play. Nwpo doing his best to be a wall on 0 boost, but can't last forever, or maybe he will, as Tempoh misses on this one and has to start it up again. Tempoh trying to go quick enough to never allow Nwpo to leave and grab boost, but he took a little bit too long and allowed Nwpo to kind of wind up a challenge without too much worry. Nwpo save, counter. Oh my goodness, he's not going to score on it. You can see Tempoh almost looked like he was trying to tilt out, but he saw it lined up and it was quite off. It's okay. Never mind, we're still in this. Pogo just puts a soft shot towards Nwpo. Minute left to go. He just needs to come out on top of this possession that we've seen go back and forth. He'll get himself a tie game and maybe a bit of overtime. Reset from Tempoh. Nwpo decides not to challenge. Tempoh waiting it out. And Tempoh hasn't had the answer. I mean, he might just need to go a little bit more cringe. He's had Nwpo and Moxy just waiting on the goal line for him, testing to see what he can do to stop them. Nice fake here from Tempoh. And he'll make it 5-5. Nwpo launched this one up directly into Tempoh's control, and he was just recovering so late. This is why the fake worked so well. Full supersonic speed all the way from midfield. Could not afford to slow down. Otherwise, he would not make it back in time. Kickoff win for Tempoh. Huge kickoff win. A possession in his favor. Trying to go into that top corner. Nwpo able to cover it. Defending from the back wall. Nearest it. Now 15 seconds left to go. This flick is in. And a lot of these quick plays just haven't been going Tempoh's way. Nwpo playing it on the ground when Tempoh backs off. And reading those challenges perfectly. 15 seconds delay kickoff from Nwpo. Has boost and ball at the midfield. Can he ice it out? He will. The reset shot past Tempoh on the back wall. Tempoh maybe able to tie it. But Nwpo able to clutch up. So hard to defend when Nwpo is able to place that as far away from Tempoh as possible, forcing him to defend across the net instead of being able to use that backboard. Maybe one for the road for Tempoh, but game number 2 is going to go to Nwpo as well. It's been a rough go of it for the challenger. One last life to try and get some games. 18 shots. I mean, that gives you an idea of, you know, how Tempoh's takes need to be a little bit stronger. I think a lot of it has been great saves from Nwpo, don't get me wrong, but a couple of the shots have been lacking. Game number 3. Tempoh and Nwpo. Can Tempoh bring it back? He's going to open up game 3 with a demo. And how he decide to convert on it. He's not going to go all the way back to his own half. He's going to play a little bit of the ground game. Hook shot to Nwpo's net. Nwpo gets the first save, which isn't a problem as long as Tempoh finds a way to score eventually. And my goodness, this pinch will do it. I thought he was about to lose control as he was on the wrong side of the ball here, but one little pinch puts it in the perfect spot on the top of the arena and the back wall for it to just drop down directly in front of the net. Nice outplay by Tempoh. But he might need to build up even more of a lead to feel any sort of security. Nwpo. Air dribble sent to the back wall. He tries to reset. Tempoh looking to do his best with boost. I'm not sure why he would flip off and hand this ball to Nwpo. He's got to know that this is just giving a goal away, especially when Nwpo is nowhere near him. He's been so passive at times, backing up all the way to the back wall. And yet Tempoh allowing him to get away with it. Ooh, frustration you could see on the missed wave dash. Front flipping, and he knew that that was the difference. Late flip from Nwpo, and then a delay. Also front flip as well. So not the standard kickoff you see from that position. Nwpo's been able to handle Tempoh's aerial game with ease. We were watching that one from Nwpo's POV. Kickoff possessions, though, and kickoff direct goals have been way increased here for Tempoh in this series. And it can always breathe life back into a game that feels like it's been rough. This one was threatening to slip away, especially with the context of how the day has gone for Tempoh so far. Nwpo, though, so speedy. Even in these moments in the midfield, which just feel like standard 1v1 play, especially on 7 boost as well, Nwpo is just finding ways to get perfect touches and stick with the ball. Against every other opponent Tempoh's played against, he usually expects to grab boost and eventually starve out, grab a possession, and probably get to attack the other way, but Nwpo's always looking to get something in. Now a little bump and a missed dash, and that's going to be another open net for Nwpo. Just finding ways to get goals. Three-goal lead now for Nwpo. He's going to start an air dribble headed all the way to the left wall and find a way to bring it back on target, but not strong enough to get a shot out of it. He'll steal away Tempoh's potential shot attempts. And what a wave dash setup. Instantly on the ball for another reset, make it 2. It seems like Nwpo's turning up the freestyling. I think we saw a little bit of that from Moxy. Problem with Nwpo is he can turn up the freestyling and you could not even notice. It could look like he's still doing everything he can to beat you and hitting everything left and right. That hasn't been the case yet, though. As Tempoh, great little first touch to kill the bounce and give him a perfect roller. He will hook shot bottom left. Another kickoff that Nwpo has to deal with. Makes the first save. Nice shot from Tempoh. Gets around the ball and makes sure to get the movement that he needs, that side-to-side movement to make Nwpo's line off target. Nwpo's had enough of losing kickoffs. He's not going to go to this one. Just going to let Tempoh have the boost on the ball. He faked it in a way that we've never really seen before, though. He switched the field and went to the other side, and it's still going to pay off. Tempoh had 100, had the ball in the corner, but hasn't found a way to score from there. And so he ends up giving possession away fairly quickly. And Nwpo straight down the field converts. Tempoh pre-flip. Maybe trying to go for 2 resets. He did get Nwpo to fall into nets. And he heard the pre-jump, so he tried to chip it around over the top of him to play keep away. Nwpo was still fast enough to make contact. A couple different fakes here before Nwpo brings the ball on top of his car, and now he's going to go what I thought was for an air dribble bump, but no, he'll go 50 instead. And that is not going to end up working out for him as Tempoh makes the save and gets the counter. It felt like when you get that ball as controlled as Nwpo does, and you get someone to back off and start shadowing towards the net, to become such a likely victim of an air dribble bump. But I thought for sure that's what we were going to see. Oftentimes, those air dribble 50s seem to do well when players have to fly across the net and get a touch that's not straight through the offender, and then the 50 ends up paying off. That's when Nwpo does it a lot. Ooh, almost the perfect bounce. He will get the follow-up. 6-6. It seems harder to win those 50s and those slow plays where the shadow is set up and ready to force the ball out. Tempoh Reset pre-flip. Drop directly into Nwpo's control. He has just been converting on what feels like every single one of these. And he'll do it again. Here is what I'm talking about. Nwpo is going to go for the air dribble bump in this very similar situation. This is a bit of a speedier dribble than he had the last time, but he did have a directly shadowing Tempoh, and he looked to take advantage of that. Nwpo gonna make it 8-6 as he wins a kickoff. Both of them trying to force the ball right. Nwpo just able to stay centered, stay on the ball a bit better. This is a must score, I would imagine, for Tempoh. After a kickoff win, has the resets. He's gonna fake the flick and let it bounce in. Great fake. Even Nwpo drops him the nice one. Tempoh put himself in a great position where if he pulls the trigger on the flick, he can launch it to the top shelf with pace. And if he doesn't, he can let it drop down and bounce in slowly. Nwpo didn't know which one to go for. Ends up getting faked out. Minute 8 left to go. Tempoh scored my must-score shot, so I have faith in him still. Just doinked it to the other side of the field and gave Nwpo possession. How much will he do time wasting? We've seen both our potential world champions be willing to time waste with leads. We know Moxy has done it a bunch, but Nwpo's done it here and there as well. He's going for a ground pinch to put it towards the nets. Gets pinched away. Nwpo not letting it leave this half as he cuts it off early. Really try and go make something out of this one again. No, he's going to back off as Tempoh needs to find a way to reduce how often he is getting heavy touches away from his possession. Sometimes they're forced, but it feels like here and there he might have been able to control it a bit better instead of letting Nwpo dictate everything. When he has the ball under his control, he is essentially never giving it back for free. This flick is wide, and that means Tempoh has the ball. Has ball cam on this dribble. Air dribble bump attempt. Not going to work. He needs to force the ball directly in. Pops it up high. Nwpo on 0. Going to fake. Tempoh gets underneath it, but he's forced to tap it away. And it will be a sweep for both the potential future champions against Tempoh as they've started to heat up here in the road to Nwpo versus Moxy. GG's. GG's. Thanks for playing, Mr. Tempoh. Nwpo has left the party. But we should have another one. Mr. Mock is in game. And the next player is always displaying offline. I think he should be good to go, though. Oh, no, he's not displaying offline this time. There he is. Maybe he fixed that because he knew I was going to have to invite him. All right, chat, we got ads. And then we get our next run. Actually, real quick, before that, let's go look at the scoreboard. Let's announce who's about to play. 3-0 for Nwpo as well. We have 2 matches left. 2 matches left. Moxy is 1 series ahead. So, these last 2 could be very, very important. The 9th opponent will be Nuggets. We're going to have Nugget play right now after these ads. See you in a bit. Can you show the marbles scoreboard, please? We don't have enough subs for marbles anyways. All right, let's think about this. Moxy has a 2. Jorgen! Mr. Jorgen. Thank you for the gifted sub. A 1 game series lead and a 2 games how do you say game lead? So let's think about this. If Nwpo were to win in game 5 and Moxy just loses in game 5, that's already enough for them to tie. So really it's just a series lead. I mean, I guess, and then if Moxy were to like horribly lose or something, he'd lose it. And if Moxy were to, or if Nwpo were to like win big, he'd win. So really it comes down to just a series. Moxy will have to lose a series, obviously, in order to tie it back up. But the game differential, even though it looks like it's in Moxy's favor, the nature of just any sort of win versus a loss will probably put it back in Nwpo's favor. Does that all make sense, chat? Feel free to queue it up, chat. I think we might get going before we can run it. Thank you for the 9 months, tier 1.
Fuel your day with Factor. Chef prepared, dietitian approved meals delivered fresh to your door. Healthy eating made effortless. Factor.
It's true. It's true. Sign up with my code today. It would help me a lot. Chat is in exclamation point play mode. It is the only thing you can type. All right, Moxy versus Nuggets. Then Nwpo versus Nuggets. All right, chat. Moxy said he had overtime. So let's do it. We have 100 marbles in. Let's race. Tempoh, thank you for the prime. It has been established in the last stream that you can now avoid your last place ban with 7 gifted, aka funding the next hour of marbles. Just want to let you know that before we nuke you quickly and you have to message a mod swearing you'll pay the bail. Wait, when are you guys gonna come out of this? Koi! Look at him go! What about 5 for a reduced sentence? Why not just make it 7? If you're gonna give 5, why not just give 7? I hope you lose, Feer. I really, really, really hope you lose. I have only ever won. I have never lost. Losing is, of course, being the last one into the bucket at the end. If I do ever do that, I will double the amount of subs that have been subbed so far. Deep fried love, go. Bouncing straight into the finish. Look at the ninja star. The Chip Chorp ninja star. Do not be last now. Do not be last. The only person immune to getting a nice 2-week ban for getting last is Release Rope 6, who is currently the king of marbles. I'm actually pretty close to last. I'm actually pretty close to last. Okay, I'm safe. I died. I don't know who actually got last. Lightu. We'll see you later, brother. Alrighty then. This is a new series. Let us... Moxy. Nuggets. Actually, can I put the cues in this? I can. Here we go. We continue the road to Nwpo versus Moxy. It's the $1,000 road, and we're getting to the very end here. Match number 9. The last match that I said was the 7th match. I don't know what I was on, because I'm pretty sure that was the 8th match. And this is the 9th, with one more to go after it. And Moxy currently holding a lead. The eventual world champions, or one of, the people who will be the world champion, have been holding it down their past couple matches. But Nuggets should be a tough opponent. Oh my goodness. Moxy has just looked so strong in 1v1. People often say that they play better after a break. I'm sure some of you in chat have felt that way, that you play for a long time, you take a bit of a break, you come back, you play better. Moxy has never done that. As far as I'm aware, Moxy does not take breaks. He absolutely does not take breaks, except for he finally has. In the last couple months, I feel like he did take a break for the first time, and it has maybe resulted in a level up we did not even know was possible, as he's now up 2-0 against Mr. Nuggets. Nugget is using the new boost, I believe. I want to say it's the new fake alpha boost. I have seen people using it here and there. Nuggets double jump bump is going to be just good enough. He does get slowed down, but he gets the demo, and it will convert. Nugget is currently, I think, top 10, if not top 20 in 1v1 ranked. The 1v1 ranked leaderboard is actually... technically means he's rated way above Moxy. I was seeing that Moxy's down in like the 40-ish range. So I'm not even sure how you even get there if you're Moxy. I don't care how much you were playing. They don't reset the MMR enough for Moxy to fall that low. But I don't know. I'm not sure what the story was there. Either way, Nuggets jumping over the top of a potential bump attempt that he seemed to know was coming, and will get himself a second goal. How much is Black Splash worth? There's drops on right now. I imagine that Splash is maybe one that you can get. All of your items are worth nothing. All of your items are worth nothing. I hate to say it. They are your items. They have only the amount of value that you give to them. So you tell me, do you like your Black Splash? Will you potentially use it? That's how much it's worth. If you're hoping to sell it, good luck. Unless you're going to sell your entire account, which I don't think is. First off, it's TOS. We would never allow that. And secondly, nobody's buying your account for Black Splash or almost any. You're using it? Well, then there you go. It's worth amazing. It's worth so much. It's worth your joy and happiness. And isn't that what it's all about? Every time you get to see your Black Splash goal explosion. Nuggets attempting to dunk on the goal line, has a solid boost steal and has a tie game. Moxy maybe looking a bit more human here. Type 1 in chat if you think that a Black Splash goal explosion is worth amazing. Moxy waiting out his eventual possession, and now going for a double jump bump, and it will work. Nugget bails out early. and saves himself getting posterized, but does allow the goal to go in. Nuggets, look at the speed from him. Always been really impressive part of his game. Definitely worth noting his ability to find open opportunities. Maybe not to the level that we see from Nwpo in the air, who seems to be fast at all times, but on the ground, it seems like Nuggets' car has just a little bit higher speed cap than anybody else's. Moxy up 5-4. Wants the fake flick. Nugget actually didn't fully fall for it. He stuck around and was available to stop the fake, and that's why you see Moxy having to flip through it. Nugget gets a touch, but just not quite enough. Kickoff in favor of Moxy, going to make it 7-4. Moxy able to pick up his own back corner boost as the kickoff goes to his half. Nuggets trying to chase down and make something out of it. Doesn't get anything. Now he's down 8-4 just like that. It seemed like Nugget was playing a solid game. Was maybe even testing Moxy there, making him sweat a bit, and next thing you know, it's now a huge long shot for a Nugget to come back in game one. How long are you going to be streaming for? I plan on streaming however long it takes to finish off your last drop. Moxy, ooh, his shot seemed perfect down low. Nugget able to make the save and forces it off the posts and sets himself up for a quick counterattack. Even had boost left over. If you want to supercharge your drops today, there's actually like a special code you can type. I don't know if anybody on the other streams has told you about this. It's something weird in the system that it kind of boosts up your time in which you... Koi is so far ahead of me. The time in which you can get your drops in is, of course, DSC_1439. Listen, I don't make the codes. I just know them. Nugget, nice boost grab at the midfield. Going to be huge for him trying to convert this one with 38 seconds left to go. Nuggets has to score on this take out of the air. Is he going to get a reset? He will get one late, but he lost control of the ball in the process, and I'm not sure he has time to recollect this one, even with the nice, undercut on Moxy to keep him awkward. I still think this whole sequence is advantage Nugget, but he needs that one in and needs to get to the next one ASAP. And it's just taking him too long right now. And now he's going to die and lose his advantage he did have. So he never will convert on the goal anyways. 8-6. Oh, what a challenge. Not that it matters here. Game number one. Going to go to Moxy. That was a cool dash. You have a cash prize for the show match. That's a decent question to ask. Moxy is playing for $1,000 over the course of 10 show matches, trying to get a better record than Nwpo. And you might be wondering, well, then what's the other players getting? Since they're not competing for that prize, they all get $100 if they can win a series against one of these two top dogs in 1v1. So Nugget playing for a clean 100 that he could walk away with. Moxy fighting for the overall 1,000 as well as getting the practice he needs to be ready to go in Lyon, France for the World Championships later in September. Nuggets trying to pin a flick top shelf, not able to. Nugget was looking saucy there for a second with the initial jump off the wall, the wave dash back onto it, but then just gives the ball over for free. I don't know if he's expecting a challenge. A little fake from Moxy there was maybe enough. Moxy wants a double jump bump. Nuggets fakes like he's going up and quickly dodges back down to sneak around it. Not able to pick up his own back corner, but did grab... Oh, actually, I thought he grabbed the midfield. The midfield was there. Wait, wasn't it? I still see it there. Did he miss it? Either way, heads to the back wall and just gives a nice one to Moxy for his quick recovery and ability to turn what looked like maybe a Nugget possession, if he had gotten going a little bit more, into an instant dunk all the way across the other side of the field. And this flick is just barely off. Nugget catches a break here on a guy who hasn't been given very many of them. And he's been able to survive the demo game really well. Moxy likes to play physical, likes to delete the opponents that manage to survive his first couple shots. Nugget has seemed prepared for that. And a little bit of it has to do with just the way he orients his car, I feel like. I don't know exactly the mechanics of how you register a demo. I know I've seen 1,000 posts on it over the years. As each update, someone complains about the demoing changing or the demos don't work. I think what they're really just saying is the internet is the internet, and ping is always going to make me mad sometimes. But either way, one thing I can tell just from feel is if you can position your car awkwardly enough, it doesn't register as a demo, and Nugget seems to be kind of turning in such a way that he always gets caught instead of taken out as he goes to the ceiling and is able to intercept this one. Nugget playing well. But the answer is, can anybody today play well and actually convert that into a game win against one of these two? Moxy, nice speed. Doubles it top right. Does not allow Nugget the recovery. 3-1. Nuggets, his flick top shelf off the kickoff. Not equalizes, but erases that extra goal Moxy had just earned so hard for, or worked so hard to earn. You know what I'm saying. Moxy to the ceiling, has a reset, decides to just float behind the ball for a 50. Expecting Nugget to get put far out of position. Challenging off the back wall with only a couple pads to work with. Nugget gets bumped. He's done a good job of avoiding it so far. This time it connects. No jump kickoff again for Moxy. Something that he clearly seems to be wanting to throw into his arsenal of kickoffs, but one that has not gone well for him so far today. This possession is Nuggets because of its both of them very low on boost, so this could still be a heavy Nugget advantage. Moxy forced into nets. Now not even playing on a pad. He has absolutely nothing at all, so Nuggets will punish and put it right back to a 1-goal deficit. Nuggets zap dash to steal the midfield 100. Moxy passing back to himself towards his net, having faith in himself to easily collect his back corner and set up a dribble possession. Nugget decides to shadow. Moxy's actually kind of losing the ball the whole way. Even when he single jumps, which is normally a setup to put that ball on top of your car and flick, he actually loses it out to Nuggets. But the separation between him and Nugget allows the 50 to still find its way in, and a kickoff goal makes it 6-3. And this is what Moxy does, man. Another game that just feels like it's back and forth. And the next thing you know, you blink, and Moxy's doubled up his opponents and is very likely to finish it off that way. Moxy deleted. Nugget power sliding, and he gets a terrible spawn. Or Moxy gets a good spawn. Bad spawn for Nugget, though. And just like that, another Moxy goal. Moxy staring down Nuggets. Nugget able to at least prevent an immediate goal. Moxy chaining some dashes together, using the ball. How did this work? How did this work? I don't understand. He used up all his boost. Dashed his way in. Nugget. That's how it worked. Nugget just gets thrown off by the bump and ends up gliding up the back wall on the roof of his car instead of making a play on the ball. Did Moxy just try a Spanish kickoff in a 1v1? He's back! He didn't even get scored on! Moxy can do no wrong. Moxy headed back to his corner. Nuggets bumping him out of position and getting another goal, but hard to imagine him getting 4 goals in 30 seconds. Can a mod have bracket linked to the Wikipedia for this? There is a Wikipedia for these guys' games against each other, but it's just not currently linked. Nugget does score again. Type 1 in chat if Zen is better. Type 2 in chat if Nwpo is better. Let chat decide. Nugget is actually making us have to hold here for a second. Holding can be over now, but it almost feels like Moxy knew that this one was just barely going to go in and it was going to be okay. No time left over. But 8-7. Moxy, I love the little horse dashing or whatever it's called. Game number 3. Moxy and Nugget. So far today, we have yet to see our favorites even lose a game against their opponents. Nuggets not able to power through on his wave dash kickoff. Moxy putting cement blocks in his car to make sure he stays down. Moxy has the resets. Ultimately decides to play it safe. Now has a reset again. Wants to punish Nugget for challenging him out here in the air, and he will do exactly that. Just prepping his car for a 50. Such a great air roll to get the roof right in the dead center of the ball. Nowhere that Nugget can push it. And Moxy's already headed on the way down to get down there, get a follow-up. Nuggets able to take this one away at least after Moxy gets yet another first possession. Nugget trying to carry this back into his own half, and Moxy actually meets him there even though he's on 0 boost. He cuts it off and gets prepared for it. Cannot save this one though. I felt like with the way I've been seeing these two play, Moxy and Nwpo that is, that something like this would never find its way through. They've been so good making plays in net, but the late recovery with 0 boost was just enough to not get it done. Moxy gonna fall on top of Nugget's car. Nugget has the 100 and the advantage here. Moxy looking to buy time with the pop flick. Still gets on the top of Nugget's car. And there it is. This is a Moxy-esque play. A near Moxy-esque flick. Needed to be a little bit better to probably match Moxy's, but this is what he loves to do, which is force the defender up to save the initial shot, and then they become victim of a demo that allows an easy open net. Wave dash kickoff for Nuggets, mirroring Moxy. Able to save it into his crossbar. Trying to follow it up and send it away. Neither one of these guys has a ton of boost. Moxy a little bit less. And Nugget is able to get the 100, but did it cost him everything? as Moxy's now set up the other way. And falling off the ceiling with a reset. Nugget going low. So Moxy goes high. Great read. You see Nugget deciding he did not want to try and defend off the back wall again. Hoping for a fake head to the ground. And great read by Moxy to actually use his reset the moment he sees that. Goes top right. We got 3-2 at 3:32. Make it 4-2. Nuggets dashing like a madman off of his own landing off the wall to collect a possession. Air dribble bump, make it an air dribble demo. This game has had a different feel, or I should say this series has had a different feel than the ones we've seen so far today, even though they've yet to see a different results. Moxy, a direct kickoff to net. What did Nugget do here? That did not work out. Tried to go for a wave dash kickoff. Just got there late. Why it's not Johnny Boy who cast the show match? Because this is not Johnny Boy's stream. Flick from Moxy to make it 6-3. Chain dash to get underneath it. Just such a good way to save boost when you have limited. Instead of having to catch back up and get the perfect timing, just use the wall to help you out and save everything else for the shots. Nuggets dunking on top of Moxy. Making sure to flip through. He was a little bit behind the play. The flip helps push him forward and create a wall over the top of Moxy. Moxy picking up the back corner 100. Nugget has a few different times been really aggressive, diving in to try and get those boost steals. Not something you see from people very often. You have to be sure that you're going to get it because of how quickly you get scored on if you don't. I'm not sure you're going to win without taking some risks against these guys. It's going to have to be a bit of a peak day as Nugget, strong kickoff into reset, able to muscle it through. What happened to Moxy? The AFK kickoff in ones. It's 2:30, 7-5. And he's gone. Is he streaming, chat? Did he DC on his stream? I'm assuming he's still live. His stream crashed. PC crashed. All right, we'll have him back. It's 7-5, 2:30. Basically halfway. Pause the game? I mean, I can, but we could just wait for him to get back on, and I can just reset the score. I feel like it's annoying to have the game paused, I would think. I'll pause it before it ends if it takes him more than a minute 45 to get back. But consider the extra free play Nuggets, you know, bonus for not DCing. I'm expecting to see him in here eventually. His PC went off. I assume he'll be back soon. Stream is back up. Okay, maybe we stream first, then Rocket League. Sorry. I don't want it to end. It's 7-5, 2:30 though for when. Can he continue this dribble? Oh, imagine. Oh, 8 to double reset. Actually kind of peak. Actually kind of peak that he hits the dribble even though I paused him in the middle of it. To 37-5. Right back into it. Just a quick PC crash for Mr. Moxy, who had a 7-5 lead as we were going to a diagonal kickoff. He did get a straight kickoff instead. Maybe one day they'll give you the opportunity to pick the kickoff on restarts. Yeah, I guess it was a bit of a Mina pause for our first time, although no players are Mina, and I'm not Mina, though. It was a nah pause. Moxy, 2 quick kickoff goals after the break. And he's going to be able to read this delay kickoff to potentially make it another one. Nugget gets back just in time, but not a great position to be in. Moxy plays a bit of keep away. And is able to get a soft catch. Pre-flip flick. Tried to doink it in. Nugget is in the right spot to make the save and does fight out for the boost. It's got to be all that practice he gets rushing for boost over and over again. Doesn't win them all, but does win that one. 9-5 with a minute 40. Feels like there's going to need to be a goal here for Nugget soon. And instead, he gets his flick eaten up. And Moxy scores 10. Will it be another 3 straight for Moxy, putting himself in a really good position? It would essentially come down to winning the final series. If Moxy wins the final series, he's in. He's won it. If he loses the final series, then he'll have dropped it, assuming that Nwpo gets the job done as well. Nuggets. Double jump bump. Has a 7th goal. I guess there's a world in which he could bring it back. It just feels like with everything we've seen today, it's hard to believe. Ooh, nice quick play to jump off the wall and actually pop it over the top. He foresaw Moxy trying to close the distance here. And normally a little touch like this would maybe be a big mistake, hand it over to the other player, but if they're diving in, then it will actually chip it over the top of them. So Nugget made the right read, although he's going to get Omega dunked on this kickoff. Nugget does find a way back. Doesn't allow an immediate goal. Moxy is literally turtle. He just used his jump to push himself even further into the ground while turtling. Trying to find new tech we've never seen before. 43 seconds left to go. Moxy seems willing to waste a bit of time. In fact, he's even threatening cutting this back to his own half. Thought maybe he could get Nuggets to cheat that and put himself out of position so that Moxy could just score. But if he's not going to cheat that, then Moxy will just stay in control. 2-goal lead. Ooh, Nuggets almost able to get that one towards the net with a backflip challenge, but Moxy continues to try and show off his ability to control the play. Wait a second, this will be a Nugget goal. Moxy maybe could have afforded to play a little bit more offense. He had tried to completely ice it out with one single possession, and now he's a kickoff away from having to play in overtime. Although, you know what? Moxy's not worried. He's been winning those kickoffs. He says, I'll just win another one and get a freebie. Nugget just getting around the ball. Or sorry, I should say Moxy's just getting goal side and slamming it off to the right. And Nugget has been delayed on his wave dash kickoff. 11-9. Moxy will do it. Puts himself in the best position to finish off this circuit of matches. Putting the pressure on Nwpo to do the same. Jeez. Let's take a quick look at the practice to see where we're at. The practice has another 3-0 for Moxy. He stands 7 games ahead. If we were to see another 3-0, this is what I was talking about before, he'd have a 2-game lead and 1 series lead, which by nature of the fact of if Nwpo were to win at the end and Moxy were to lose, that's guaranteed at least +2, which means we could have either a tie or a Nwpo win. Either way, let's go on to Nwpo versus Nugget. We do have ads, though. We do have ads in the meantime. Please bring Jack next time. I'm reaching out to, you know, all the top 1v1ers who could give these guys a good fight. It's just about who feels prepared and ready and willing to try and give a go at them. Which, to be fair, might not sound very enticing for a lot of people because these are the toughest guys to beat right now. I didn't ask Kep, though. That's true. Can you ask me how I'm going so you look like a caring streamer? No. No. I'm good. Get someone hard for the last game to make it close? No, I will. We'll maybe try and spice up. I think we might do a rematch because I was almost going to schedule a rematch today. And I think a rematch against one of the guys that they both lost to will be perfect because it'll be really hard and it could easily go both ways. No rematch? I think if you want them to have as hard a time as possible, it might need to be rematch. Prediction? Yeah, we could do that. We're waiting for some ads and then we'll start the next one. I don't want anyone to miss. "2v2 against Drally and Vatira, higher score wins." Is now Moxy the winner because he's 6-3 and Nwpo is 4-4? No, because Moxy could end 6-4. And so could Nwpo. So if we take a look at this, let's say, just to give you my theoretical Nwpo win, is Nwpo sweeps, then they play Tough Guy, who's really hard to beat. Tough Guy is really hard to beat, but Nwpo manages to do it. Man, in Game 5, Nwpo does it. Congratulations. But Moxy, he actually only gets a single game against Tough Guy. He doesn't have a good matchup against Tough Guy. Then they would tie, and the slight game differential would go to Nwpo. So Nwpo would win in this world. Now, if they both just win from here on out, then yeah, Moxy will have locked it up. Nwpo needs Moxy to lose at this point. So he needs Moxy to lose this last game. Yo, Josh 1243 had been like a pretty regular chatter too. He had like come in and like been like okay as like a new chatter, like types 1 and 2, like asks who's better, Zen or Nwpo, which is whatever. Types DSC 1439, and then he was just luring us into a false sense of security. All right, these guys ready? If so, we'll run it. Let's do it. Here we go. We continue the road to Nwpo versus Moxy. It's a $1,000 challenge between Mr. Moxy and Nwpo, where they play against the same 10 opponents looking to get a better record. Whichever one comes away with a better record is going to get $1,000. Everyone who's playing against them trying to win $100 per match. So that's what's on the line for Nugget here if he can beat Nwpo. And although Moxy and Nwpo started out rough, they have shown why they are the two representatives going into the World Championship in September in their past few matches. As now players have struggled to get games off them. This is the 9th match. If you haven't been able to watch through all the ones in the past, I'd recommend going to check them out. We'll spoil them slightly because Moxy has played 9 people so far. And he has set himself up where if he can win out, then he will win. Nwpo needs a Moxy loss in round 10. And Nwpo could lose the whole event right now by losing to Nuggets. If he were to lose to Nugget, then it wouldn't matter, you know, what happens in the final match. Nwpo will have lost it. But so far, that has not been the case. Up 2-0. Nuggets repping out there for the champions. Always love that this has become a popular decal to use. Quick shot from Nuggets. And he is on the board for his first goal in this series. Nugget direct kickoff goal win. Let's watch again. This is a straight on kickoff. He actually looks up to see what Nwpo's up to on the other side of the ball. Not something you see very often. I mean, you'll see that when someone's trying to read certain fakes or delays that they expect to see. But early on in the series, Nugget already given a look on the other side of the ball at what Nwpo might be up to, as Nwpo just going to continue to air dribble through this one. No need to slow the ball down and make it fancy when you recognize Nugget is defending from way too deep. Not going to be able to catch up to just a nice air roll. If Nwpo did go down to grab a reset, slow the play down like we've seen very often from players in that position, Nugget might have actually stood a chance. Are we going to see a double jump bump here? No, a fake and then a 50! Nwpo somehow covered all of it and was able to force it onto the post to bounce out. Not easy to do. Forcing Nugget all the way to the back wall. And now trying to steal the ball away from him as well. Not going to work though. Nugget has a clean carry. Nwpo early challenge. Nugget forced to reset here. All this boost was just taken off. They just came from here. Which means it's actually not going to respawn in time for Nugget. He'll have to play on 0. As Nwpo recognizing he can comfortably fall back into his own half. And collect himself. A nice possession. Irritable bump attempt will work. Sweaty cards! Thank you for the 5 gifted. Much appreciated, gamer. As Nwpo makes it 4 goals. Sweaty Carts makes it 44 streams in a row. Nwpo, oh my goodness, look at the placement here. Getting every part of the woodwork on the way in. This is how you convert on a kickoff win in style. As Nugget rotated back as fast as he could, but it didn't matter. Nuggets zap dashing into the back corner. Nugget trying to put a little bit of aerial game in against. Oh my goodness, he got it. He had no boost left over. And oftentimes when somebody runs out, I give up on them actually being able to finish the play because they usually can't make the adjustments they need. But look at that. There was 12 boost after the reset shot, just enough to get there and pull back to find the angle. Nuggets has put up a decent fight here today, but still finds himself in a 2-goal deficit, staying on top of the ball and forcing Nwpo to play a game of speed with him. Maybe the only person in the game who can maybe get away with that on occasion. Nwpo, is he going to be able to make the save? He will. Nugget going to steal his boost and try and get a demo, forcing Nwpo up high. Nwpo tried to recover back down. His options were go high up on the wall and survive, or stay low and get demoed, but problem is he could not get back in time to prevent Nugget taking it away and getting a 4th goal. Nugget kickoff goal? Tie game! 5-5. Nuggets not out of this one by any means. Nwpo is playing Drally settings, or is Drally playing Nwpo settings? Oof! This flick had a little extra power to it than I was expecting, as it takes one touch to collect it and just launches it over the top of Nuggets. What will happen if Nwpo and Moxy tie series and game differential at the end? Unless I come up with a better idea, my plan was to just add $1,000 to the World Championship prize pool. Sure, it's already like way more than 1,000, but hey, if these guys are perfectly matched in across 10 games in series and games, you know, we could either have them play each other to break it, but why not just have that be the World Championship? But I doubt it's going to end that way. And if anybody has any other great ideas to break the tie, I mean, we could just play one more person. You know, just keep playing it until the tie is broken. Bring an 11th match in. That might be a better way to do it. Marbles 1v1. We're not going to have it be a Marbles 1v1. I think the simplest would be to just keep adding more players for them to play against until a round ends. Ooh! Without them being tied. What a flick from Nugget. Nuggets staring down Nwpo. Did not look at the ball at all. Just wanted to know what Nwpo was going to do. This time he's actually going to get that catch he wanted. And the fake challenge maybe convinces him to get up quickly and flick. He's not going to be able to connect with Nwpo, and Nwpo will get a goal the other way. Right now, it's just actually the offense that I feel has been separating the challengers versus the champs. The challengers, every once in a while, throwing in a shot that just seems a little bit too easy to deal with, while the champs never seem to do that. They never seem to give anything that can be saved easily and countered. You have to work so hard for it. Wait a second! Nuggets is going to tie it up with 0 seconds. And this could be huge. We have seen no ground gained either way for Nwpo or Moxy all day today. But if Nugget even puts up a single game, he will have hurt Nwpo's chances. Overtime in game number 1, Nugget makes a save, but Nwpo's in such a good spot right now. All the boosts in the world, reset at ceiling height. Nugget transitioning off the back wall. Not a chance in the world, it feels, for someone to be able to stop him. Sure, he picks up a pad. It feels like Nugget has to maybe defend high, but when he goes low, it doesn't pay off. Game number 1 goes to Nwpo. The trend continues as we head to game 2. DSC is going to be more popular than Feer. That's not possible, right? Game number 2. Nuggets getting himself in overtime. The best we've seen from the challengers so far today. Chat, can we all type, "What's up, brother?" to our first time chatter? Nuggets. Seems like he's almost trying to bait Nwpo in a little bit here. With the way he's rotating and not quickly making a play on the ball, Nwpo is going to die. And Nugget does not want a wall to air dribble. I feel like he had no choice. Maybe he's going to show me why maybe he did have a choice, but no. No, he's just going to get scored on. With that rolling setup, you can't stop it with that level of speed. It rolls low towards the back corner. You'll never be able to catch back up to it, create a shot opportunity out of it, and then you just end up giving the ball away. The game has advanced in a way that you almost have to play with the flow a lot more than you used to. In this case, the flow is highly suggesting a wall to air dribble for Nugget, and he didn't take it. Long shot from Nugget, though. We'll put him on the board. Any extra rewards besides watching? Are you talking about the drops? Type 1 in chat if the drops are the friends we made along the way. Sheesh, Nuggets! Nuggets, 116 km/h flick. I mean, Nwpo doesn't stand a chance. Nobody stands a chance. Nuggets trying to go right back to that flick. This time, Nwpo more prepared for it. Up on the back wall. Makes a save. Nugget staring down at Nwpo. Now up to the ceiling. Instantly challenged. Nwpo going to force a goal line save, but both of them completely starved out. He wants to turn and challenge right away. It does not pay off. Nuggets looking at an open net and even slowing it down. The confidence to slow the ball down and not just immediately take every single goal you can get against one of these guys. Nugget showing he came to play today. Nugget gonna punish Nwpo again. I mean, we haven't even we've seen an occasional 1-goal lead for the challengers today. We are looking at a 3-goal lead and a nice punish for Mr. Nuggets. Nuggets has found himself attacking in the opponent's corner so often off of kickoffs, and I was about to say that is probably a mistake, and yet this time it does work out. He grabs a demo on his half flip as he chips Nwpo just as he goes supersonic, and now it's a 5-1 lead for Nuggets. I was talking about this before, but the implications of a game loss can be big. Just to go over it again, if Nwpo could sweep Nuggets like we have seen from these two champs so far today, then it would essentially come down purely to the last game. Ooh, nice shot from Nwpo. Great late movement on the ground. It would be purely down to if Moxy could lose and Nwpo could win the full series. But if Nuggets is able to get a couple games and Nwpo loses a bit of his game advantage, then he is not safe. Not only does he need Moxy to lose, he needs Moxy to lose by a lot. So every single game here, important. Nwpo needs to bring this one back. Nuggets staring down Nwpo as he chips it away. Nwpo able to get just enough on his challenge at ceiling heights. Nugget is all of a sudden completely in control of this game in a way that nobody has been against either Nwpo or Moxy today. Nwpo backflip challenge. Trying to get some of that control back. Going for a double off the back wall. It will bounce off the ground, but it'll still be good. And Nugget even gives him the nice one. Nwpo will say thanks as he tries to work it back. Minute 30. He's got lots of time to bring it back. Still doesn't change the fact that we haven't seen a lead like this from Nugget all day. Oh, what a save. I cannot believe Nwpo got so much extra power. Nugget had it perfectly read, and he follows it up and in. Nugget has leveled up, and he will make it 6-3 as Nugget wave dashes away to steal the 100 and is in the perfect spots to follow it up. The 10th match is probably not going to be today unless someone who I have been talking to about potentially playing the 10th match ends up being around. Nwpo, little delay, catches Nuggets off guard. You can see him swinging around, prepping for this shot. If we watch his POV, thinking maybe there was going to be a touch there. Didn't come, so he resets, and by then it's too late. Nwpo chips it over the top of them. Rats, thank you for the 38 months, tier 1. He says, hello, YouTube. Hope you're all doing well. Nice of you to be nice to them. Twitch chatters are so often mean. A minute left to go. Nuggets in the lead. Nwpo needs to get this game back to do as much as he can to keep his chances in this matchup against Mr. Moxy. I still think, you know, either way, he's going to be favored, even if he loses this game, to win the series. But every single game matters. Nuggets sending him to the back wall. Will we see a Diaz challenge? Nwpo reset directly into Nugget. This ball falling in a dangerous position, though. Nwpo's going to try and pop it up. He pops it up maybe too high. Neither one of them have pads. Nwpo throws it directly at Nugget, who makes the first save. Can he make another one? Dashing himself out. No, I think Nwpo's got this. At 6 seconds left to go, he ties the score 6-6. Nuggets being a little bit too aggressive. 2 wave dashes all the way out to the sidewall. I think one might have been enough. But he puts himself out of net, and Nwpo takes advantage. Ooh, wave dash kickoff. This is really favorable for Nuggets, who has the carry. The flick. Nwpo denies. Another overtime. Why not? Overtime, game number 2. Nuggets not going to be able to beat Nwpo to this possession. It is a full tank of boost and an air dribble. Nwpo's so lethal here, and he flips it directly into Nugget, but dunks it in and is able to keep the follow-up inside the crossbar. Nuggets able to force 2 OTs, but not able to finish it off and get a win. Will Nugget finally break through? We find out potentially in game number 3. I'm a season 19 Premier Club with Lil Step Bros. Good to know. Will we get 3 straight of the same game? That's the question. Nugget should have the first goal here. Just barely got it in. Off of the post and in. Why aren't you in the Feer Club? If you got a club request to join the club that Drowley was in, would you accept? Nwpo. Reset wave dash, cuts it bottom left. This is how he's won his 2 OTs. Just so tough to deal with on the wall to air dribble off the kickoff. How many people are in the DSC club nowadays? Nwpo trying to fake nuggets. We saw Moxy hit a couple of those. Such a dangerous flick. You have to respect it. Nugget prioritizing the demo. Is he still going to get his goal? He will. So he was right too. Interestingly, Nugget is kind of a combination, I'm sure many people would see it this way, of Moxy and Nwpo. He's known to have a good flick game, a good ground game, something that Moxy is very famous for. But also, he's known to play at breakneck speeds that don't feel possible by anybody else. Which, of course, is Nwpo's signature. Nwpo. Ooh, nice fake this time. Should be able to get that ball back on target. Nugget dropped in the nice one as he fell for it. Had no choice but to try and stop that shot. Nwpo camera check to see how much he has to deal with this. I think he's hoping to stay grounded and not have to go up. If Nugget's not around, then he doesn't have to double jump to save this. He can just let it land and play it much lower, but Nugget was correctly positioned to force a bit of pressure. Nwpo will double jump and pass it to him. Nwpo backflip challenge. Keeps this one around the net. Nugget makes a save. Soft touch. One that he hopes to follow up. And he is able to follow it up, but the cost of all of his boosts, Nwpo has taken it all. Nwpo wants a demo. Doesn't get it, so Nugget will take control. Trying to find as much power as he can off of the limited pads that Nwpo has allowed him to pick up. Nwpo was potentially scared about a demo there. I think that's why he pops himself up so high. Not what Nugget was going for, but Nugget's defense has looked a lot stronger than we saw earlier, forcing Nwpo back on occasion. Not every open possession gets converted for a goal, and Nwpo there is doing kind of what I was saying neither him nor Moxy had done at all, which is take a shot that just feels like there's nothing to it. What I will say is at least Nwpo made sure he was going to have the follow-up. Nwpo losing the ball at the top of his car, but collects it in time to launch the flick and make it 3-3. Nugget saw it coming too, but nothing you can do about that acceleration Nwpo was able to get on the ball. Nwpo side flip. Feels good about the follow-up. Nugget makes the save. He thought he had gotten Nugget out of position enough that he didn't even really need to worry. Just threw a shot on net to follow up, and Nugget was in the perfect spot. Makes the save, gets the counter. 4-3 for Nuggets. Nuggets zap dashing into the corner. Nwpo has boost of his own. He picked up at the midfield. Manages not to get demoed. Nwpo maybe hoping for a ceiling pinch there. Now Nugget's going to see if he can punish and counterattack before Nwpo really recovers. Not quite able to, as Nwpo does make it back just in time. Double jump bump. Nuggets becomes a victim and is 4-4. Delayed kickoff. Nugget has a chance on net. Nwpo now going to be pinned back. How good is Nugget at keeping him there? Already, Nwpo's found a way to pick up a couple pads. This flick, though, not quite in. Nwpo denies. Quickly rotates his car to land on the top of his net. This flick is perfectly placed. And it is 5-4 for Mr. Nuggets. He's been playing so well. It's possible to imagine a world in which he finishes the game in the lead, even though these guys refuse to let him. Nwpo reset shot just a bit too high. Now chipping one, arcing towards the top right corner of the net. And Nugget makes the first save. Nwpo catches and cuts to the side wall. Wants a dunk and gets it. These are the big dunks. He actually normally takes them a little bit more directly towards the net. But I think he recognized Nugget going to be flipping across the net in the process of making a save. And that is when those 50s are the worst. And it's 5-5, 47 seconds left to go. Nwpo, a game away, or I should say a goal away from leaving it all down to round 10. If he does give up a game, then it gets a little bit more about how badly both players win. Nwpo. Chip up over the top of Nuggets. This one should be able to get followed before a Nugget return. He put the one shot that Nugget can actually save just about anywhere else, and Nugget doesn't stand a chance. That 50 is really favorable, though. Certainly, Nwpo finishes off this one. Nuggets has fought a valiant fight. 1 second left to go. We got OT in the other two games. Can he find a way to do it in this one? Nwpo expects the delay and chips it over the top of him and into the corner. Another sweep! Nuggets put up a really strong fight, but the inevitable happens. And it's 3-0 for Nwpo. My goodness. Let's take a quick look at our bracket here. Another sweep. It seemed like it was maybe not going to be. But what that means for round 10 and potential tough guy, which will be later to be replaced by a different tough guy. Unless, of course... Okay. Yeah, not happening today. Maybe soon. I'll have to talk with a person. But just to see where we're at, tough guy, if he were to lose to Nwpo and beat Moxy in a game 5 for both of them, we would have a perfectly tied series. Now, anything else, like Moxy winning it all, any amount of Moxy win, and it's over, no matter what Nwpo does. So Nwpo has to win. We'll probably play Nwpo's game first. If Nwpo wins, then it will all come down to Moxy versus the final person. If Moxy loses, Nwpo wins. If Moxy wins, Moxy wins. Believe it or not. If Moxy wins, Moxy wins. I will try and make sure I announce tough guy ahead of time. This could be a rematch against either Vatira or Drally. I only want to use someone that that they both lost to, because it would feel unfair to pick someone that maybe has a better matchup against just one of them. Or it might be a completely new person, but whoever it is, we're going to try and make sure it's somebody who can get a game off of them, because they haven't they haven't dropped a game in a while, okay? These guys have not been able to take one. So we shall see. That being said, if this is your first time here on the stream, there's something that we like to do a lot here. Or I should say, the stream likes to do a lot. I don't know how much I like to do it. Moxy hasn't lost since he promised you he wouldn't. That's really nice of him. I appreciate that. Was it after Vatira? I guess I assume he said that then? He's dropped 3 games since. Nwpo got swept by Nas. This one hurts him a lot. This sweep, this is huge. This is the reason why. If Nwpo wins, the toxic round will be the reason why. A 3-0 sweep for Nwpo and a 0-3 for Moxy. This is just humongous. So if Moxy happens to lose, the reason why game differential is so good for Nwpo is he got a +6 in this round, which is just unmatched anywhere else. I guess he also got +1 here in this round. But type exclamation point play, chats. Make them play against each other. It's a 50-50 chance for both. Oh. Should we have just had them play each other 10 times? Wait a second, chat. This time I'm hoping even harder for you to lose. Come on, please. Chat, surely can pump these numbers up to 150 marbles. Feel free to subscribe to exclamation point Factor, by the way. Still sponsoring us for the rest of the month. I think a little bit into September as well. Release date for Silk Song. Chat, if you want me to play Silk Song on stream, type exclamation point play. And if you don't want me to type or to play Silk Song on stream, type exclamation point play. Play it. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I will start after we get to 150. Surely 6 more people can type exclamation point play, right? Surely. There they are. All right, let's go. Thanks for hanging out on the stream today. What's my favorite shape? Marble. I had a great time streaming some matches for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. Next stream. Let me think about that a little bit. Next stream could be as early as, probably actually not tomorrow. Maybe we try and finish it like Monday.
1439.
I think I'd probably be shooting for a Monday finish for the Nwpo versus Moxy challenge. Whoa. Obviously that means it'll finish a little bit short of the World Championship, but trust me, at this rate of setting up matches, I think it's just, if we can get them, we get them. And we'll just end a little bit before. And there's also a Champions Road 1v1 that these guys could play if they wanted to prep. So they might do a little bit of that. We might just get them more matches too, especially as everybody shows up in France. That'll be a good time to just get cross-region matchups that we can't otherwise get right now. Then we got Champions Road stuff. As far as I'm aware, we're going to be doing the Champions Road streams just like we do the Cash Cup ones later, Vaccinus. So that's what we have in store for you guys. Andrewski, thank you for 28 months, tier 1. And Farva, thank you for the brand new tier 1. Yo, Farva. Giga Chat, thank you for the brand new tier 1. Otavian, 25, looking good. Wait. Track Challenger? Oh, why does it take a loop-de-loop way around? Track Challenger or Calzone? New King? New King went through the portal. Liam Binkle? Nope. Snazzy. Wait, why are people getting Omega timed out? Oh, Vaccinus is here. He's timing you out for... Yo, Snazzy has typed 2 messages. Are they both exclamation point play? If so, what a legend. Started following this month. Now do not be last or get a 2-week timeout. I feel obligated to mention we did have someone buy their way out of getting timed out. The line has been set at 7 subs, or you can take your 14 days. What is Snazzy's 2 messages? Yeah, both exclamation point play. That's a gamer right there. El Mohammed, probably gonna be you, brother. Unless I'm Soap. Anti-clutch. A choke? No, no, no. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna die around the corner. El Mahmoud. What's my favorite shape? Based. I said marble. He said based. Congratulations on your loss, El Mahmoud. Thanks for hanging out today. Nwpo versus Moxy. The road to Nwpo versus Moxy. I don't even know what I call my own thing. The road to Nwpo versus Moxy ends probably Monday, hopefully. But you never know. It's tough to schedule these. If we can get it Monday, that's when it'll be. Thanks for hanging today, guys. Bye.
Time, always something on my mind. A kind of magic in the air. I'm on the run to a sunny paradise with crowded beaches everywhere. I'm just a girl who's looking for some fun. It's time to get things started. So come on, everybody. Boys